How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things that kind of mix in together. I'm going to be talking about the most profitable bosses in RuneScape 3 at the moment, but at the same time I'm going to be explaining to you guys the bosses that I use to make as much money as I do, and basically explain how I went from maybe having I think it was about a 2.5 bill bank about a month ago on stream to actually having around about an 8 bill bank. So at the moment my current wealth evaluator does say I have 5.2 billion. However, with the essence of finalities, I do have a Seren Godbow in here. I also have a Statius Warhammer in this one, and then of course that's just the normal standard one anyway. But I also have a 1 billion chest at the Elite Dungeon 1, and that is not included in this. So with that in mind, we're sitting at around about an 8 billion GP bank, and that is a massive increase in amount of money coming from when I was on stream the other day and we did a wealth evaluator check, and I actually was sitting around about 2.5 billion to 3 billion. So how did I do that? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Which bosses do I invest all my time in? Hopefully you guys will find this interesting. Hopefully it helps you know where to invest all your time, and hopefully you do enjoy. If you do, leave a like on it, do subscribe if you are new to the channel, but otherwise let's jump into this, shall we? Alright, so we're going to go through these bosses in no particular order. Just basically this video is going to be about knowing where to invest your time when you are PVMing and knowing where you can get the most out of it. At least from my perspective anyway, I have found that doing these bosses has made me a ton of money so fast. I've done more than double my bank over the last, 2 months probably. And while it has taken some effort and some decent amount of grinding, I have been pretty lucky, I suppose, but at the same time, I have been putting my effort into the right places, and my bank has increased so fast. It is absolutely crazy. I should quickly mention that the Seren Godbow that I do have in my Essence of Finality was a gift to me, but even not counting that, I have still more than doubled my bank since then, so we don't have to worry. It's still absolutely relevant, but I know some of you guys will be in the comments like, wait, didn't you get given that? I did get given that, but at the same time, it doesn't make much difference. We still made an absolutely ton of money without even including that. So, the first boss that I'm going to talk about is going to be Raksha. Now, this is going to be something that is a little bit unique to me maybe, but at the same time, guys, whether you have my luck here or not, it doesn't make much difference. This boss is absolutely worth grinding away at, purely just because of how much you can increase your bank with one single drop. The Greater Ricochet Codex is still probably the most expensive singular drop in the game that you can get at the moment. After doing a Discord check, I can actually confirm that yes, it definitely is. It's still sitting at a really nice price of just below 1.4 billion GP. 1.4 billion GP in one single drop. This is absolutely crazy. Now, you can beat this somewhere else, which we'll talk about, but for a single item, this is the best you can get. So what I would suggest doing is you definitely want to be putting time into Raksha. It is such a big payout if you do get this. Now, of course, you may be thinking, but that's such a rare chance to get it, right? Well, I am not going to compare the fact that I have managed to get 6 codexes in 150 kill count, one of them being Greater Ricochet, but that's not the actual point of this. The point is you can actually grind this boss out and make a good amount of money per hour anyway, around about 11 mil, I do believe, depending how fast you kill the boss, of course. But at the same time, the other drops from this boss, except for the laceration boots, are actually pretty decent. When you get them, it's not that bad. Obviously, laceration boots are like 2.5 mil, and blast fusions are about 6 mil, which isn't that bad to be fair. But then once you do get past those two, you actually jump straight up to a 25 mil drop. The Divertibility Codex is 25 mil at the moment, and then moving on from that, you've got the 30 mil Fleeting Boots, and then freaking big jump all the way up to 140 mil for the Shadow Spike, 190 mil for Greater Chain, and then the 1.4 billion drop for Greater Ricochet. So all the drops from here, except for those bottom two, are actually really worth getting and really worth sort of grinding towards. But the common drops from Raksha do add up to around about 11 mil an hour, at least in my experience as well. So doing Raksha is definitely a boss that I would suggest you do, because getting that Greater Ricochet drop, which I guarantee eventually you're going to get one, whether it takes you 200 kills, 400 kills, 600 kills, it doesn't matter, you're going to get one at some point, and when you do finally get one, it is going to add up over that whole amount of time, and you're either going to get it straight away, like I did, and be absolutely rich as hell from this boss, or you're going to get it around about 600, 700 kills maybe, and even at that point, by the time you've got this boss has actually paid off and been more profitable to you probably than most other bosses in this game. So Raksha is definitely somewhere you should invest your time in, definitely somewhere that you should put some practice in and get faster kill times so you can get more kills per hour and get through it, get it done, and get yourself the Greater Ricochet drop. Okay, so the second boss that I'm going to talk about, and one that I also spend quite a lot of time at and invest a lot of time in, and even though I've managed to get one of the drops from there so far, I'm actually still putting time into it because it's just that much worth it. I thought that I'd be done, I thought I'd be freaking finished with this boss, but actually, no, it's actually really worth the time doing, and I'm going to continue doing this boss for the foreseeable future, and there's a good reason why. So, of course, if any of you guys have been watching me recently through the Preparing for God Wars series, for example, you'll know that I'm probably talking about ED3 at this point. ED3 is freaking amazing for money. It's just like Raksha in the way that you can get a huge big drop when you finally do get one. However, it does take a fair bit of grind time to actually get your drop from here. Now the reason being is most bosses you can actually get a kill usually on one overload dose. Usually a kill would take what, between 3 to 6 minutes depending on which boss it is. For example, at Raksha it does take me around about 3.5 minutes to get a kill there, so I can get a lot of kills per hour in comparison to ED3. Because ED3 you can usually get in solo around about 2 kills an hour. And that is pushing it as well with my times. I actually sometimes have to reset an aura to be able to get the second one in, and then of course I can do a third and maybe a fourth on that one as well, depending how fast and how much attention I'm paying. However, it is a 1 in 55 drop rate in solo for ED3. Now, some of you may be thinking, you know what, 1 in 55 isn't too bad, you could get quite lucky on that and get it early, and yes, some people do get stupidly lucky at this boss, it's absolutely true. I know plenty of people who have managed to finish their full drop log before the single drop rate of 55 kills. Not mentioning any names, Carolyn of course, but you know, basically this boss can pay out huge and is worth putting the time in to grind through it, even just for that one drop. If you go on drop rate and get one single piece, your drop is going to be around about 1 billion GP. Every drop from Ambassador at the moment, one of the Eldritch crossbow pieces, is above 1 billion GP. It is absolutely crazy to think that if you get a drop from this boss, it cannot be less than 1 billion GP as of making this video. Guys, if you're watching this in like 3 months and it's dropped, I do apologize, things change, but at the moment, this boss is absolute bank. Now, the icing on top of the cake. ED3 and all elite dungeons have a 20% chance to double your drop. Now earlier when I was talking about the greater ricochet, I said there's only one place that you can get a bigger drop in one go, and that is here. And the reason being is if you got the Eldritch crossbow stock at the moment, which is sitting at 1.2 billion GP, and that doubled in your 20% chance, you've just got a 2.4 billion GP drop. A max cash stack drop pretty much, all in one drop. That is absolutely crazy thing, and of course you still have to get lucky twice. You have to get lucky on getting the drop, and then you have to get lucky on it doubling, but a 20% chance isn't that bad. You can definitely expect this to happen at some point, and it will. If you keep going at this boss, eventually you're going to get a doubled 1 bill plus drop. That's just the way it is, that's just how it works. It could take you a while to do that, but eventually it is going to happen, and that is going to pay off absolutely tons. Personally, I have done 48 solos here, and I have received 1 crossbow limb, and that was around about 1 billion and 50 million GP when I sold it, I believe. I did also get the pet drop as well, which was a little bit saddening when that could have been a drop as well, but that's absolutely fine considering we now also have our drop below drop rate. However, 48 kills at 2 kills per hour is going to be freaking 24 hours. And that sounds like a lot of time. And this is what I was saying. ED3 takes a lot of time to commit to it if you do go on drop rate. But that's still just under 42 mil an hour. Not counting anything else that I got from the entire dungeon. You can still make a really good amount of money running this dungeon. The relics all add up, all of the salvage adds up, and Ambassador himself, his drops are usually between 1 and 5 mil as well, so you can actually make a good amount of money considering that too. If you add on the fact that I did 48 kills, if every drop of that was an average of what, 2 million GP, you could actually add on another 100 mil to that as well. And again, that is still without counting any loot that just went straight into the chest from the normal dungeon run as well, and that is a lot of money per run. So ED3 and the Ambassador is definitely another boss that I would suggest you learn, especially learning to solo as well. This boss can pay off big time, and it's just worth your time at investing into it at the moment because the massive payoff that you can get from it is absolutely crazy. And I'm actually going to keep going here until either I finish the log or I get a double drop and can just buy anything that I want to buy. Alright, so earlier I mentioned that I had a 1 billion GP chest at ED1. Now, of course, with that, I'm going to have to suggest that you guys learn to solo ED1. Now, you have to solo ED1 for it to be worth it, because if you don't do solo ED1, then you are going to get absolutely no freaking scales at the end of it. whatsoever. It just doesn't seem worth it at all. In the duo or a trio, you tend to get like 2 scales maybe. However, in solo, it is really not that uncommon to get upward drops of 50 plus scales, and that is absolutely crazy money. The scales at the moment are just below 1 million GP each, so considering you can get 50 plus scales and it's not that uncommon to get, you're making absolute bank at this boss. Believe me, this boss is the most consistent, and I'm going to say again, the most consistent moneymaker in this entire game. Not only do you get to see the money each kill, every single kill, you will be making the same amount of GP per hour on average for pretty much every hour you do this. And this is from something that I've noticed while I'm doing my road to 100 kills. I'm currently sitting at 66 kills with a 1.1 billion GP chest. So if we work that out, that is sitting around about just under 17 million GP per kill. And per hour, considering I usually work it out at 2 kills per hour, which I can do actually more than that, we are looking at 32 mil per hour. However, like I say, I can usually do around about 2.5 kills per hour, so you can probably push that up to around about 36, 40 mil an hour maybe. And go back and watch my series videos. Every single video was pretty much around about 32 to 36 mil per hour, and that has been generous with the 2 kills per hour as well. So you can make absolute bank at this boss. It's consistent, you see reward for it every single kill, whereas with other bosses you have to hunt for that rare drop before you get your payout. This boss pays you out every single kill. Sometimes you may only get 4 mil for a kill, sometimes you may only get freaking 6 mil, but other times you're going to get 50 mil, 60 mil, 80 mil, all the way up to, I believe, 220 mil is probably the biggest drop if you double the max scales. As of course, like I mentioned, all elite dungeons have a chance to double your drop by 20%. So if you got a 100 scale drop, that could very easily double to 200 and make you absolutely rich from 1 kill. I've found with experience at ED1, I can usually get a kill done in around about 20 to 25 minutes, depending how fast I am putting in the time. But if you can finish 1 kill in 20 minutes and then add on bank time, that's when you can sort of expect to get 2.5 kills per hour. Don't get me wrong, you can do it even faster. If you had better gear than me, if you had an Eldritch crossbow yourself, you could make Seiryu a 1 cycle job, and you could definitely do 3, maybe even 4, depending how fast you are, kills per hour. And damn, at that point, you're making absolute bank. And I think this may be one of the best money makers in the game for you. But anyway, ED1, absolutely worth your time doing. Agent scales at the moment are nearly 1 mil each. Do put your time in and learn this boss if you have the time and if you have the effort, but holy crap, this boss can pay out big time. And just a quick heads up before we do move on to the next one, this chest that I'm showing you here has not had any big, massive, like over 100 mil drops all in one go. The highest I've had in this was 68 scales, which of course is 68 mil in one big drop. However, there's nothing in here to push it up by 200 mil by 1 drop, and it's not happened like multiple times. This chest is actually very realistic on the amount of drops you could expect to get. Okay, so the last boss that I invest a lot of time into, and to be fair, personally at the moment, this boss is kind of paying out 50-50. I am learning new stuff at this boss, and I've been learning new stuff at this boss for a while, and I am not doing too great with it. I don't know why, I just seem to have gone downhill. I used to be actually kind of better than I am now at this boss, but that's okay, we will improve, we will get better. Telos, of course, the last one is going to be Telos. You guys are probably like, right, done, click off the video now, just wait, because we're going to be talking about high-end Telos. The title of this video, after all, was the most profitable bosses in the game at the moment. And even though I can't do Telos at 2449% enrage, which is the enrage that puts you at the best chance at getting a rare drop from Telos, I know that this boss is absolutely the best boss to make money in this game. It makes absolute bank, and if you can learn to do past 1k enrage and push yourself all the way to the 2449% and then keep going even just for the fun of it, hell, you are going to be making a huge amount of money. I believe that Telos at the moment, at that enrage, is around about 200 million GP per hour. 200 million GP per hour. This is insane. Now, it may be a little bit less than that at the moment, and this of course may change once the video's been up for a little while. It's always going to be changing. However, that's the amount of money that people are making at high enrage Telos. Is insane to see, and while I am such a freaking long way off from doing this myself, I'm going to be working towards getting better at this boss, even if it's just to get to 999%, so that I can comfortably streak from 0 to there without having to worry about dying every 3 kills. As even streaking from 0 to 999% enrage age is probably better money per hour than any other boss in the game, because it still makes you an absolute fortune. Even without getting a rare drop, a 0 to 999% end rate streak will make you so much money, it is absolutely crazy. And then once you factor in the fact that there is a dormant Serengobbo sitting there, around about 900 mil for you to get as well, just makes this boss even more tempting for you to put your time into. I'm sure you guys all expected this boss to be here at the top of the list, and I'm not really going to talk about it too much more because everybody knows that Telos is the king of GP. Who knows, maybe that'll change when God Wars 3 is released, but in all honesty, I really don't see it happening. I don't think it's going to be something that will happen, but I suppose we will just have to wait and see. Anyway guys, that is where I invest my time at the moment for making money in this game. That is where I have managed to more than double my bank, not including the Serengobbo. Guys, not including the Serengobbo, I've still managed to double my bank in probably a month or two, and honestly, it is definitely worth your time to invest into these bosses if you are wondering where the best time to put your PVM skills to work is. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's helped you out in knowing where to spend your time learning bosses if you're still trying to get into PVM, and I hope that you have found it fairly interesting learning where all my money comes from and where I do focus all my efforts to make my money. But we are going to end the video here, as that is the last boss I wanted to talk about. So if you enjoyed the video, do leave a like on it, do subscribe if you are new. Also, of course, there's a link to my Twitch in the description below for when I am recording things like my staking series or my ED1 series. Pretty much any series that I do, including the God Wars 3 one, I will be streaming live on Twitch whenever I get the chance to do so. I've also made a clan called the Inits. If you want to join that as a guest and get an invite, you can absolutely do so, or if you just want to stick around as a guest, do that as well. We have a really great community so far. It is absolutely awesome. Plenty of people are all bossing together, taking learners, all that sort of great stuff. Anybody is welcome. We also do clan masters, things like AOD. We've done Castle Wars as well. So if you're interested in that and you want to get involved with myself and some other people that you know from the community and my videos, then do join in there and see if you enjoy it. You don't have to be a member. You're welcome to stay as a guest as long as you like. Finally, thank you so much to my channel members. I really appreciate all the extra support you guys have been giving me for all this time. It is absolutely amazing. And of course, if anyone else is interested in joining those channel members and seeing what perks they do get while they support the channel that extra way as well, then do just click on the join button, buy the sub button, and you can see what perks you do get. But anyway guys, that's it from me. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later guys. Bye.